What's up everyone? I have a 5 Tandgnoster, I believe is the correct pronunciation, victory for today. I actually had a little bit of fun researching the pronunciation and the lore of these pets. So yeah, we'll be using its fellow Tandgrisner in hoping that we scale it up properly. But until we get to the late game, why don't we have a quick history lesson or a quick mythology lesson about these creatures? So from what I read from Wikipedia, these are the two goats that Zeus, the Nordic god Zeus, used to pull his chariot, and also it said in the Wikipedia that he eats them every single day for sustenance and for his godly strength. And then during the night he uses his mighty hammer, the Minion, in hoping that he can revive them, and at the beginning of the next day he can use them to pull his chariot once again. So yeah, I thought it was pretty fun. Also their names apparently mean teeth grinder and teeth bearer, which I thought was pretty funny considering how he eats them every single day. But yeah, enough with the lore, let's hop back into the run as we end up losing this round, which is a little bit unfortunate. We do end up facing a lot of summon teams. On my own time I was grinding for this, I was also grinding for a pretty similar challenge run. And a lot of people are running the summon teams early on, which is super unfortunate, to be honest with you. Like, it makes it super difficult for you to get unscathed out of the early game, and you can see I'm fighting for dear life right here, picking up a spider, picking up a capybara for the extra stats, hoping to chase 1 or 2 victories with the what's it called again, the axe hound that I used in yesterday's video as well. And yeah, hopefully we don't lose too many hearts, because this combo is pretty difficult to get going. I actually think I'll use a peculiar strategy right here, picking up a Fudo, hoping to scale up the team before I even start picking up the units. It's another one of those new pets, and it has a pretty interesting ability. It scales the HP of future tier shop pets by 2 every single purchase. So currently we have plus 4 HP on all of our tier 4 pets, which I think is going to be pretty useful. I think we might pick up 1 or 2 of those throughout the run. But more importantly, we're picking it up hoping to buy multiples of it during turns 7 and 8. So that we can pick up a lot of extra HP on the tier 5 units, which both of the goats are. So here you'll see that I'll probably freeze the food dog, yep, hoping to use it next turn. Instead we're going to put a rice on the bunyip, hoping to sell it for some extra gold. And hopefully we don't lose here. I think we will. They have a bison, which is always unfortunate to see. Bison cringe, as people say. Whatever the case though, I think we should still be pretty okay. We still have 3 hearts remaining, and we find the gold right here. I believe this is the other goat, this is the Tandgrisner. Like, I'm having a lot of trouble with the names. I'll just call them like brown goat and white goat if you don't mind. But for now we're picking one of those up. It's not going to have a useful ability just yet because we can't really find its fellow goat friend, but on turn 9 we can, and in the meantime we're going to try to survive by picking up double turtle. So the idea here is hopefully getting a level 2 turtle eventually. For now it's going to hopefully be able to make us survive, which thankfully it does. And later on we can level it up to level 2, and then we can peel it for the double melon on hopefully the 5 of a kind that we're going to be getting. So here we go, we're getting the level 2. I'm going to start working on some levels on the brown goat, because at level 2 it's going to give double debuffs. I'm also picking up a hamster. This is another strategy that I decided to employ while going for this challenge. So hamster obviously gives you free rolls, which is going to be super useful to have. I think here we're going to barely lose, unfortunately, as we face a slime team, but it's okay. And yeah, the hamster is going to give you 3 rolls, which is making it more likely for you to find the goats. I'm even going to start working towards a level 2 hamster. But in the meantime, we're hoping to find more goats. Hopefully, the sooner the better, as we find the white goat counterpart right here. And yeah, the stats aren't too great, like the units themselves aren't too great, but I had a lot of fun grinding for this challenge. Will I combine the hamsters right here? I don't think I will. Instead, I'll just probably buy the brown goat onto the pre-existing goat that we have on the team. And yeah, originally I wanted to have like 3 of the brown goat and 2 of the white goat, or vice versa, but it's just not feasible in today's meta, I don't think, because like you have to buy a lot of goats and you have to hope for good matchups, which as I said earlier, the player pool is really inhospitable. So we'll just get the 5 of a kind instead, and it's pretty easy to actually focus on getting the one of the goats buffed up. Like you can see right here, we get a +8/+8 buff because we use double waffle onto the brown goat. Because they have buy abilities, it's actually pretty easy to spam them with stuff like the catfish and the waffles. And you can see the results from our waffles right here. We get a gold that is 2024 after the chocolate. I actually put the chocolate on it, still hoping that I was going to be able to get both the brown goat and the white goat in a single run. So I was working towards level 2 on both of them, so I can quickly start scaling up both of the goats. But I think I'll pretty quickly be put off that strategy. For now though, we get to find another double waffle plus the brown goat in the shop, so that is another +12/+12 to the white goat. And you can see the problem with this kind of setup, like you're getting the buffs only on the single goat, whereas the other goat just has to stay on the team and just be relatively useless in battle. Like this pitiful team that we have constructed right here is kind of an exception, because the brown goat is our second biggest unit, and thankfully we do get pretty lucky matching up against this relatively weak looking team on the opponent. But yeah, usually you would not be able to pull that off. Whatever the case though, we will continue by selling. Here I pick up an oyster, I pass up on the catfish because honestly I feel like I am way too weak to be grading with multiple catfish like that. So instead I'm just fishing for the white goat, and thankfully we do find it. It's now our strongest unit on the team. The buy ability is going to be pretty useless because it's going to be buffing the brown goat, and I don't think we're going to be picking any more of those up. So instead we're just going to hopefully next turn transition fully into the white goat. We're going to spam a bunch of waffles, and we're going to make the full pivot. But hopefully we don't lose this turn. Let's see how we do. The loading times today have been pretty long for some reason. Maybe I should just get some rest of sap when things turn out like that. Whatever the case though, we do end up winning against this jump team, so we are good to go. We find yet another white goat in the shop. And here you can see another downside of these two units is that they only buff the future pets that show up, so the goats that we have in the shop already are not going to receive any buffs sadly, but they're still 31-35, so I think it's going to be fine. Hopefully if we manage to find some more on the next turn or at the end of this turn, we are going to have some stronger stats to put on the team. But for now we're just going to pass turn with 4 goats and a turtle, and hopefully that's going to be good enough for us to win. Here I freeze an oyster, which might not have been the correct call, because if I'm going to be fishing for pill and the final goat, I don't think it's a wise idea for me to be freezing up the shop like that. Whatever the case though, very scary looking team on the opponent, but thankfully we just barely have the necessary stats in order for us to win. So now we're at the final turn and we're hoping to see the last goat. We do have the option to buy sell the oyster if we do sell the turtle, but I think I'm going to greet and hopefully find a pearl first. We actually get very lucky by finding double gold in the shop, which means one of the golds that we have already on the team is going to get a massive stat increase. But here I can see that I will indeed not get the pearl, so I just sell the turtle, buy sell the oyster, buy the gold and probably the pita bread as well, and call it a game. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this run. It was pretty fun to scale up a 5 of a kind using 2 specific units like that, and I might make the 5 of a kind counterpart pretty soon. But in the meantime, I really hope you enjoyed, and if you did, I hope that you like, sub, do all the generic stuff, and I will talk to you next time. Take care!